Hey guys, thank you so much for joining me on Their Fight Story with Igdalia. We have an amazing guest, Erica Valentine. Erica, how are you doing today?
Hey girl, how are you, Iggy?
I am doing great. Congratulations on
Thank
your
you
last
so
win.
much. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Now, you had two fights pretty much almost back to back.
Yes.
Can you talk us through your experience on your fight with Cage Wars and then how it led up to your next fight?
So I had two fights with Cage Wars in September 9th, and then November 4th.
Mhm.
So like the September 9th fight was great. Cage Wars treated me so well, and I was fighting the hometown girl, Callie Zaros. She's from New York. She's really good. Black belt Taekwondo, very fast. I fought her and I won unanimous decision. I think I just controlled that whole fight, and was dominant. So it was unanimous decision. I won that. And then November 4th, 2 months after, I took a fight with Emmy Moreno, and she's from Chandler MMA in Arizona. So, and I know if one of her main training partners is like an Invicta. She was going for the championship, so she's like they're very high level over there. She trains with a lot of UFC fighters that I like. When I watched her stuff, she's really good. And I had that fight, and I lost that fight. And I'm sorry, that's gonna keep beeping because I need a new battery. So the people know. But But yeah, that fight was like a war. I'm like really out of all my fights, I'm like, and I had a knockout. Like I think I'm most grateful for that fight with Emmy Moreno because it was like a war. At the end of that fight, like her nose was gushing, and it was just an all out war. Like I wish that was 5 rounds as an amateur. I think that would have changed the game, but she did win, and it was great. It was a great experience. Like to spend 15 minutes with her
Mhm.
in that cage was very good. I know she like wrestled coming up in high school, and I know she was a wrestling coach. Um, and yeah, she trains at Chandler MMA. So it was really good. It was a good experience to get in there with her and just trade, because the first round she came out guns blazing, really really shocked me, because if you look at my other fights, I really have not gotten hit like with the like the way she hit me was, so I had to like recover, and then the second round I felt like I came back towards the end um of the fight, and then the third round, that's when I thought I dominated that third round, and then that's when I split her nose like within the first 5 seconds, because Russell was like, "We gotta get a knockout. Like you gotta win this. Like she's up 2 rounds, So, um, yeah, shout out to Emmy Moreno. She is a beast, and I'm so glad I got to spend that time with her. And I do hope they change the rules though in New York, like for amateurs and stuff like that, and make it like 5 rounds, because I started feeling at the end of like the third, I was like, oh, I had more.
Yeah.
So and that taught me a lot too. It taught me like, girl, you gotta go, this next fight. And when that fight was over, me and my brother Justin were talking, and he's like, yo, we're gonna freaking throw hard at you, like not like you're gonna, we're gonna put you through it 10 times more, like you're gonna be fighting, because he was telling me, like everybody saw that I came back so late in the fight. They're like, where was that at the first and second round.
But do
So
you think it had anything to do with like your first experience with Cage Wars? Because you can't do certain things on the ground.
oh no, this one was all out. This was with ground and pound and everything too.
Yeah, but I'm saying your previous fight with them, you weren't allowed to. So was it like you adjusting to the fact that the rules were different?
Oh no, because in Cage Wars, I like when I got her to the floor. The only thing I didn't hit was her face, but I was ripping her body. You know
Okay.
what I mean? So it was just like, if it was nothing that I couldn't adjust to. It was just more like controlling and not doing certain things that, But there was ground and pound for this fight. There was no shin pads or nothing like that. But I just want New York to make like a 5 round, like I don't know, because like Mass doesn't, I think. And I know Maine, like when there's a main event or a co-main event for a title, it's usually 5 rounds. So maybe they'll do that for the amateurs coming up, you know. But that would be really good for them to do. Eat like keep it 3 minutes, but like 5 rounds, you know.
What from that fight were you able to take to your next fight in, what is it, Dead Serious 48, 46?
Yeah. Dead Serious MMA. They're out of Atlantic City in New York. So yeah, I had to just I was just not playing around in this fight. I was literally like, I'm not playing around from the start to the finish. This is my fight. Like, how dare she even come in this cage with me? Nothing personal, but I'm like just really like I believed in myself. I always believe in myself, but really, really just like this is it. Like,
Was
you
it
know,
the taste?
what was that?
Was it that taste in your mouth from the previous fight that you were like, oh,
Yeah, I like I had a chip on my shoulder from like me. Like I didn't even share the link that my fight was on, and I dominate this fight that I just fought in December for Dead Serious MMA, and I didn't even share the link with anybody besides my mother, my aunt, and like certain of people in my family. Like not a lot of people. I didn't put it on Facebook, not on. You know, people were asking me what's the link. I had my phone on like
you're like, nope.
airplane mode, like you know. So I just was so I'm like this one was for me for sure, for sure. I wasn't trying to sell tickets. I wasn't trying to like push the fight. I made like one post about it and then I fought and then you know because I took this fight on like 2 weeks notice too.
Yeah, but you're always ready. You're like, you're one of those
Yeah,
fighters anybody can call and you're like, okay.
call me if you need me. 115 and 125. Call me. Well, 120. I don't know about 125.
So how was your training for the winter versus the summer? Because man, you killed me when I was following you in the summer.
Oh yeah, it's basically the same thing, girl. I actually added on to that. I'm working with Spider Monkey
Oh,
at North Haven, you know, so I added on to that. We work 3 days now, so it's on. So we just work today, so Tuesdays and Thursdays, and then Friday, so tomorrow too. But yeah, I've added on from that.
that's dedication, and I mean that it's amazing. I applaud you for that because you know you're a single mother. Wait,
Yeah.
I mean, for those that don't know, she's not a single mother to one, two, three, and no breaks in between. You know what I mean? They were three at the same time.
Yep.
You know, it was a triple blessing, and it's amazing. You know that you're able to manage everything. Because wait, you put your protein in there?
Oh no, this is actually LMNT, so electrolytes. And like, yeah, this is my gallon for the day. I'm almost done. I'm almost done, girl. Yeah, this is not my you're talking about the creatine and the BCAs that I put in. No, it's not it. Yeah, it's LMNT, so it's like electrolytes. Sponsor me if you hear this, LMNT, please.
Well, you know, you'll never have sponsors. You worked hard, like, and I'm not saying that other fighters don't work hard. You know,
Yeah. Everybody, I feel like to get inside this cage, like we all worked really hard. Just like some work harder than others, but I don't think anybody gets inside the cage. And there's exception of fighters, but you know, I don't think anybody gets inside the cage and didn't work hard. You know what I mean?
yeah,
You just find out who works harder.
exactly, and that's
It's
the
the truth. It's the truth. When you get inside the cage, there's no lying. There's no. It's just the truth inside there.
yeah. Not
Yep.
minimizing one person's technique, not minimizing one person's worth ethic, because you know what, anything can happen. You
Hmm.
know, I've seen fighters who's lost their parent or lost a sibling
Yeah.
or lost, you know, a grandparent right before their fight. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Exactly.
Toll mentally, physically, emotionally. I mean, and the fact that they can still get in there.
Like people don't understand. Like you know, it's not always gonna be pretty. You know, there you have so much to put into it. It's grappling. It's you know, boxing, wrestling, jujitsu, everything.
There is it's
Taekwondo,
fine. You,
fitness stuff.
but then you have to switch your brain.
Yeah.
You have to switch your brain. Like For instance, I've seen fighters that are Muay Thai fighters and then they'll go boxing, or MMA fighters and they go to boxing, right? Now you got to switch your brain to be, it's boxing. There's no elbows, there's no knees, there's no takedowns, there's no choking, there's no clinching, there's none of that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it's like you have to be skilled to shut everything off.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when you're grappling, it's like you got to control yourself. When you don't think you're going to be throwing elbows or punches, it's like, wow. Like, so you know what I mean? So it takes a special control and discipline to
Yeah, for
be
sure.
able to distinguish one from the other. It's not, you know, it's just not as simple as people think. I mean, if it were, everybody would be doing it.
Exactly. So you got to kind of let people say whatever.
Yeah, you just got to
It's
let
the
it.
people that really don't know anything that say the most, you know, at those shows. But you got to be grateful because, like, MMA fans are so crazy. They're so crazy.
At, you know, in the long run, it's dedication, it's hard work, it's discipline. It's like you said, it's an art. It's a mix of different beautiful arts that are combined that you're making it into this, you're perfecting it.
Yeah, I was like listening to an interview with Jocko. I don't know if you know him, but he's like a he was like a Navy SEAL, and he's into jujitsu. I think he's a black belt in jujitsu, and I was listening to him and Dr. Huberman Lab. I listened to a lot of those guys. He's like a neuroscientist, but he was talking about how you should have a craft, and even though, like how you kind of said, you still want to be involved with mixed martial arts, but you know that you can't fight, so this is what you do. And that's what they were talking about, is making your craft. Like, maybe you can't be the, maybe you can't do it, but can I do the behind the scenes? Can I get to know these fighters? Can I get on a level where I'm involved with mixed martial arts, but I'm not fighting?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what you're essentially doing. And I think that's amazing. And I think that people should follow their heart more, like, hey, so what if you can't do it? You know what you can do? You could become a black belt in jiu-jitsu one day, because you can roll, but you don't want to fight. You don't have to fight, and you can be the best camera lady and the best,
I love to do. I can't
the
like.
photographer, you can do it all. You can have this pocket, whatever you want to do. And
Mhm.
shout out to you, Iggy, because like I always say, there's not a lot of females that know this game that don't fight.
Yeah, I learned I don't like getting hit. You know what I mean? I learned early on I don't like getting hit. So I mean, I'll spar with people and stuff like that, but that's a whole nother level, which
Yeah.
it's not okay. You know what I
But
mean?
you can still roll and do
Oh
jujitsu.
yeah, I
You know?
definitely love that. But my thing is, it's like I am not going to talk bad about the sport because
Yeah, and you can do things like bag work. You can, like,
yeah,
you just don't have to spar, or you can do things like that. Just, I have a bunch of ladies that just do my kickboxing class, and they love it, and they're just like, I don't want to fight. We don't spar. We don't, we're freaking dancing and kicking and dropping it low, doing burpees. I'm making it fun for the people that they don't want to do this for real.
it's good therapy. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? A lot of people, it helps you um, get where you need to be.
yeah, it does.
And look at you. You've from day one, you've been on a mission. And this is what I want to do. You know, I am gonna go. Didn't work out the first time, but what did you do? You went back and you figured out what you needed to do.
Yeah.
You've figured it out. And like who's to like did you really think, maybe you did, in the beginning of this year that you were gonna be holding the title?
Yeah, I just always believed in myself, girl. Like, even when I didn't know, I was always talking that talk. Like, fake it till you make it is such a real thing, because 6 years ago when I started, like, I had just posted a video of 6 years ago, and then me hitting pads like like a year, like a year ago. So I had a video of me hitting pads 6 years ago, and I looked like trash. And then I had a video of me holding pads now, and I look crisp.
Yeah.
And but when I was doing that, I always believed in myself.
Mm-hmm.
I always knew that I would one day make the UFC. I always knew that one day I would be fighting just like I am regionally now. And like, everything is going like according, like, I started this 6 years ago. I knew that I was going to be fighting.
Yeah.
I thought I was gonna be fighting in like 3 years, and then Russell's like, "You got to get your blue belt, girl. You got to have this many kickboxing fights. You got to have, um, your jujitsu tournament." So obviously, I'm like humbled by it, now, because like 6 years ago I was like, I'm gonna be fighting next year, blah, 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 I'm gonna, but now I know that things take time, like it really takes time. I have 6 fights now, and MMA fights, and I just now I'm starting to figure things out inside there. Like I'm like it's almost like sparring. Like my last fight was very like, I think it was like my breakthrough, because I was like, I'm freaking sparring right now. I was like, like at one point, I'm like messing her up, 1, 2, 3, and then the crowd goes crazy, and I'm like lifting up my hands, and then I start hitting her again, like, and I'm like, wow, like when I get that confidence, and I like that was the first time I really felt like, oh shit, like, wow, I'm like controlling this whole fight besides the Cali Cervos and my knockout. Like that was like that moment, like I am what everything that I threw, I hit her with, like, and it was crisp. So I just feel like I'm getting better and better and better every time I get inside there, and I'm just grateful because I've been at this for 6 years now, and now things are starting to come together for me, and I feel like I have like 1 or 2 more fights, and then I want to go pro. I want to do the New England Golden Gloves, do another MMA fight, and then I want to go pro. So everything, I did expect this. I expected to be a double champ, but unfortunately I didn't get that for Cage Wars. But I knew I was going to be a champion before 2022 ended. Even without a belt, like I'm a champion. Like I work like a champion. I think like a champion. I sleep like a champion. I eat like a champion. Like, my mindset is just champion, champion. Like that's all there is in my mind. So the way I treat people
Hmm.
is like a champion. Like I'm genuinely a nice person. So it's just everything in my life I'm super duper grateful for, and it's all coming together. And through like all the highs and the lows, like my first fight ever, I lost in 19 seconds. I probably say this every time I'm on air with you, but literally, like I like my first fight ever, and then after that in January I was supposed to fight Tracy Baldwin like 6 hours before she pops positive for COVID when we're doing the swab. So I don't end up fighting her. Then March, I I lose to Bree Sargent. Then June, I get a crazy knockout, and then September I win Cali, and November I lose to uh Emmy, and then I win. I lose a belt, then I win a belt too. So it was just like so many ups and downs, and just like I just stayed on the path. Like every time I fought, win or lose, I'm like in the gym the next 2 days. I'm like in there.
Hmm.
The Ashley Barrett fight, the 19 seconds, I was in the gym the next day. So it's
Hmm.
just like I'm just always there. Like win, lose, like I'm there. So
Yeah, and that's so important that regardless of the outcome, you don't stop.
yeah, I'm not sleeping on myself anymore. I don't care what anybody says about me or anybody thinks. I'm just am on a mission,
Hmm.
right? Like I'm on a mission, and everybody can get it who's my size. Like you know what I mean? Like I'm on that mission. It's just if you're a straw weight and you're amateur, just make way because I'm coming. And the pros be ready because I'm coming next year too. It's just what it is.
Yeah, that's awesome. What does your coach and your brother say? Like from the beginning of this year up until now. Like I know brothers are brothers, you know what I mean? And but
They just believe in me. Like they just believe in me. Like sometimes like I'm hitting pads with Justin, or he's like, yo, nobody hits like you. Nobody your size hits as hard as you do. And then there's sometimes they're really drilling into me. They're like, oh, you're doing this, you're doing that. So just all in all, they always give me the best advice, whether I want to hear it or not. And just a couple weeks ago, my coach was like, "Hey, you're hitting really crisp on the mitts. Let's get you fighting like that. Like, I think you're hesitant sometimes, and then we've been working on that. Boom, and so they'll give me feedback whether I want to like hear it or not. And then he said, I'm really excited for you, because I'm gonna do New England Golden Gloves this year. So he's like, yeah, I'm really excited, and that's my gonna be my first boxing fight, really. It's straight boxing because I did, kickboxing and stuff like that, Muay Thai. That's different, but this is just straight boxing. So I'm gonna be going up against chicks with like 10 fights. I'm gonna be in open, and I don't have any. So they're always telling me, what to do, what's the next, like, the smart move to do, or you should do this here, this fight, and not do that. And then, I'm always like with Russell, like we're meeting tomorrow at noon, but like we're always in the office. He's always writing up a schedule, and then he has little dad talks like, oh, well, we need this for this to get here, and to get here, Erica, we gotta. He's very about just building slowly by slowly. And so he'll like draw up a map, and like if you don't know, like if you're not there, you don't even know what it is because it looks like just gibberish all over the place. But I understand it. But just always giving me really good advice. Even like Johnny, my cousin, my last fight, we drilled what happened in the fight. Like we literally drilled, like backstage. We were like all his advice he was giving me, like she's gonna grab you, frame
Yeah.
wizard, and it all just was all right.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody could predicted that because we didn't have much footage on this girl. We took this fight 2 weeks notice. I really didn't even look at her Instagram and stuff like that. And I think that was another thing too. There was no pressure on me.
Yeah.
There was no, I was like, I'm gonna fight you 2 weeks in front of your whole family and piss off everybody in the home team. I'm sorry, y'all. But they're always just believing in me, and I think that's what gives me just the best advantage ever is my team.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's like the best thing I have.
No, I agree with you. I agree. Now you're going to be doing boxing next year. What can we expect from you in
Uh,
2023?
just like I said, some that New England Golden Glove. So I'll be doing that 119. So if they have anybody, if they have some girls, great. My coach thinks there's gonna be only like a couple girls fighting at 119, not a lot of fights at 119 for women in boxing. And so I'm gonna do that, and maybe that'll be. I'm hoping 2 or 3 fights of boxing, but I don't know how many. I know one for sure, but I'm gonna be doing the Golden Gloves, and then I'm gonna look to fight MMA in like March, May, June, those 3 months, and uh, see how that goes, and then go pro. So
Awesome. That's great to hear. I love everything. I love the whole process.
yeah,
I love the the
thank you.
evolved, E3. And
Yeah.
I just look forward to seeing everything that's going to be coming together for you.
Yeah, I would love to fight for Cage Chains again. One day. See if they have any 115. But I would love to go back. I really like the production in Cage Chains. Like they got so much better, and they were already great. So yeah, hopefully you'll be seeing me fight live.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, I'm looking to take a couple more fights this year and then go pro.
that's awesome. Before we conclude, is there anything else that you would like to share?
No, that's it. I just want to shout out all my sponsors, Dixon Sports Performances, Four Ropes in Hartford, of course, Underdog Mixed Martial Arts, the Russell Grab and Go, SCB, um, Spider Monkey, and all them at Ultimate MMA, everybody at the JSA. And yeah, just shout out to all my sponsors, and thank you guys for rocking with me, believing in me, and always being there for me. So thank you. God's work.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate your time, and I'm looking forward to seeing you next year or in a couple weeks.
I know, right? In 2023.
Yes. God bless you.
Bye, guys.
Bye.